I get this phone call from her. She says, man, when you call my girlfriend, I'm going she's really hot, she's really hot, she's really hot, she's really hot. Damn! She's really hot, she's really hot, she's really hot. Damn!
Dracula's Castle. It's a fascinating place to visit, but you couldn't live here. Not for very long, anyway.
Let me go!
This is the master bedroom. Certain people find the old place positively captivating.
What are you going to do to me?
Right now, I'm going to take a sample of your blood.
Blood of Dracula's Castle, for the most charming vampires you'll ever meet.
Delicious. I've never had it before.
It's new, the type 00 positive.
Oh, by the way, George, we have arranged for Johnny's release.
And we shall be supplied with new vintages all the time.
Johnny's their ward. He's not a bad sort either, if you like fiends. And we mustn't forget Mango. He'll relieve the tedium if you get bored. Blood of Dracula's Castle. A picture that will delight anyone who finds a certain satisfaction in horror and lunacy. Drop in some night. Meet the members of the household. You may even see the last of a vanishing breed.
They're ghosts.
Turd dust.
See Blood of Dracula's Castle in color. A Crown International release.
Actually, you have just seen Blood of Dracula's
Yeah,
Castle.
you just watched the whole movie.
It's just kind of squished into a trailer-length feature, but hey, hopefully you'll watch the full-length thing after this segment is done. And welcome back, everybody.
Hey. The whole Panic of Families here on this side.
I have a guest star, I guess.
Yeah.
Who's your guest star, Dustin?
Yeah. Bring out your animal for the second segment.
Yeah, right. This is Boris, and I guess you heard the show starting, so he wanted to be on TV. Unfortunately, he has no real skills or talents, so I guess.
Oh, he sure is dashing.
You hear that, buddy?
That's a talent.
Hello.
They got a new T-shirt. Visit your local PetSmart for all your animals' Halloween gear.
That is styling.
I know.
You know what they say about Cubby? He has the devil's eyes, the darkest eyes. I tried to reach him for 10 years, and then I kept him in the house for 2 more.
You kept him locked up.
You kept him locked up.
I fed him 6 times.
Yeah.
Sarah McLachlan came in and set him free.
Yeah. She will remember you, Cubby. Oh.
Cubby's love is better than
She didn't know. She had good intentions.
I was Smith's Grove, Cubby. Was it nice?
He got kicked out.
I got kicked out of Smith's Grove, Bill. Kicked out in the rain. Jumped on a hood. Got out.
Well, that wasn't very nice of them, I have to say.
Yeah. I'm going to go home and find my sister and kill her.
Oh, this angle cuts Becca off.
Here, I'll slide. Anyway. Yeah.
On something better.
I'm here.
You're here. We're here.
We're
here. There we go.
Better.
Hey, I really enjoyed Nightmare in Wax again for the next time. I got to say, I saw someone say Cameron Mitchell smoked 37 cigarettes in this movie. Nonstop. I mean, even when his life was flashing before his eyes, one of those moments was smoking a cigarette. There's so much smoking in this. And I even said there's a ashtray outside an elevator in one scene. Like, he's just nonstop lit up. Even his entire face is covered with burns. And it's all wrapped up, and he has cut a hole in his mouth so he can put a cigarette in it. That's when you know you got to smoke.
He's like, okay, drinking and smoking almost got me killed.
Yeah. Let's keep it up. It didn't kill me.
That wasn't realistic,
kill you makes
though.
you stronger, and that's what this movie's about. Yeah.
It was totally unrealistic because the bandage would have been all yellow if he was smoking there, and it was.
I like the one on his eye that was kind of yellow.
Look at it! Look at it!
Look at my face! Also, like that, this movie had Bill. You were saying it's a furniture movie. It's also a fashion movie. There's some
bangs.
And bangs.
Lots of bangs.
A lot of
Lots
bangs.
of bangs. Yeah, true.
So I loved it. I love the softness of the colors, and I like that bath looks so inviting. The wax bath, a little paraffin bath. I'm sure it was super hot and would kill me, but I'm old at this point. It feels like
a relaxing bath.
Yeah, good relaxing soak on the way out.
There was so much dry ice in there that it would have really done some damage. It would have come into contact with your skin if you had jumped in there.
My favorite part of the entire movie was at the end credits where it's like, when in Los Angeles, visit the Wax Museum. And I'm like, not after this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just watched an hour and a half about why wax museums are dangerous. I don't know. Can smoke. I would say that Becca can probably smoke more than Cameron Mitchell. Yeah. One time we were flying to Seattle, and there was nowhere for her to get a smoke in Dallas. And it's the only time I've been afraid of my wife. Because she said to me, look, shut the fuck up and leave me alone. Like, I'm just going to deal with this. And I was like, oh, well, maybe I can help you. No one can help me. And I was like, okay. And I wasn't allowed to talk to her until we got to Seattle. And she said, I love you. I'm going outside. And I just saw her run, go get our luggage. She just took off. I just saw her out there just smoking. So.
The one vice I kept.
I know. It's the one. It's okay. It's okay.
We all have one.
I think that Cameron, that the reaction to Cameron Mitchell being on fire was kind of strange because nobody seemed to really acknowledge that he would have been burned after that experience. But also, his girlfriend seemed like she was okay with it. She was trying to like get through to him. She was trying to hang out with him and get him to talk to her. And then he pulled back the bandage, and she was like, Like, that really didn't seem authentic. I don't think she would have screamed in real life.
It's but Mike, Justice, and I were talking this week about Phenomena, the scene where she's talking to the little boy that's chained up in it, and she's like, "It's okay, you know, everybody has something wrong." And then she sees his face, and she totally puts to a lie everything she's just told that kid. Or she's like, "Oh my god!" Yeah, and it's like, didn't you just tell him everything's gonna be okay? Now you're making fun of his face. It really felt a lot like that.
Paul wants to know what she saw in him. I kind of agree.
He bought her that jacket, that leather jacket she wore at the end. That awesome,
you saw a connection to the studio, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in this film had their own little personal motive. No one's redeemable. They're all very shallow people.
Dustin, you were saying we were watching it too. It's kind of meta that it's a Paragon Pictures, but it's also Paragon Pictures in the movie.
Right, and I mean, I doubt that it's like the first example of this, but it's it's pretty interesting that they're doing that this far back. It's not something you see that often.
How to Make a Monster comes to mind. I think
that's a good one.
That was like 10 years before.
At least, about 10 years. Yeah, that's
still, you're right. You didn't see it very often, and it's sort of like a Kevin Williamson kind of moment.
And in both cases, they don't make the studio doesn't make themselves look good.
Yeah. And by the way, when you come out to LA, take the Paragon Studios tour. It's one dude walking you through 3 rooms compared to Universal, where it's like there's a tram and Jaws and all this stuff. Like, no, that's all we got. It's just one guy.
It would be you doing it.
It'd be me doing it, being like, "Am I drunk or are these things moving?" That's pretty much what it's like to be in it.
And as we saw in the movie, the answer is both.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah,
Good, Bill.
She kind of. I didn't understand her because she was his girlfriend, and then he had the accident and was disfigured, and she tried to make good with him, and she was like, "Well, it's going to be okay." And then she had that horrifying reaction. But then years later, or maybe not even, I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't even know how long it is. I'm not sure if it's years.
Yeah, it wasn't even that long. And then she's in love with somebody else, and she goes to him to help make a wax recreation of him. To replace him, and then she's like, "Well, you and I, we were different." He's like, "I felt that way about you," and that was different.
Also, like,
really mean.
Here's what 2 things. One thing I don't understand, and I don't want to inject logic into this movie, but I'm going to try. Right? So he is like having like shady dealings with like mobbish types, right? And he's like in some like secret lab and or in the bottom of the wax museum. He still has a working telephone. Who's paying for this telephone? Like, is he published in the yellow pages, like in the white pages back then? He would have to be because everybody was. There'd be extra for an unlisted number. I think Dustin brought it up too. How does everybody's just fine after this? Like they've been like trapped in this forever and gone through this painful process. As soon as it's over, they're like, "Boy, I'm sure glad that's over. That was wild." And let's leave.
They've been staying there weeks, if not months at a time, and yet as soon as it rains, they're like,
"Yeah." Nobody has PTSD and all hangs out on a bar on Halloween night singing karaoke.
Like every other wax movie, when you peel off the wax, there's their muscle and
bone.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
No,
Cameron Mitchell had the right formula. He was the only one to
get a candle and went.
Yeah.
And that's it.
He actually after this movie he went and invented Bath and Body Works.
Yeah.
So he's rich now. Bed Bath Body Works and Beyond, as I refer to it.
Again, there's one of the things I think I mentioned in the movie too is that how great is this formula that it just cancels out every time it rains.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe they're not getting that much rain out there in that portion of California, but it still seems pretty, effective.
This wouldn't work
best in the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not
Seattle.
He's not relocating to Seattle. Also, how his ex-girlfriend, whatever she was with the cool bangs, her house was fucking awesome. Like that fence outside that house, Bill, how amazing was that house?
The brickwork, those cinder block, the elaborate pattern. I loved it.
Yeah. I think someone mentioned it in the chat already, but there's cabinets everywhere.
Yeah.
I love it.
Jeffrey mentioned the cabinets. Yeah, they were amazing.
That should be another project is we recreate these sets and do like a home makeover show where people are just going through it and showing off the cabinets of the house. I would like to have that show. It'll be hosted by Big John and Little John from Halloween.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, look how beautiful the cabinets are here in this house.
Well, like you mentioned that they didn't have any muscle atrophy for being frozen in place, and
Yeah.
I mean, was he changing their underwear?
Yeah.
Because, you know,
Didn't think about that.
Yeah.
All bowel movement was frozen. They've been backed up for months.
The wax actually goes into the butt, Bill, and it blocks
oh,
you.
okay, hermetically sealed.
Yeah, hermetically seals you, and then you
Mm.
secrete it into the wax, so when it comes off, everything's fine.
Maybe y'all can tell me if I'm wrong on this. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. You can go ahead.
Okay.
No, you go ahead. I can,
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, and maybe I'm wrong here. I see this more in older movies, especially like 50s sci-fi and monster movies, and even some of the 60s stuff. And it's something I actually love about these movies is that science and logic go right out the window. Okay, we know that this does not actually work this way, but we're going to tell you it does. So just buy it. And like, it almost feel like today's movie, it's like it has to, you know, I don't know, maybe if people are nitpicking and analyzing movies too much, where it's like, oh, well, that doesn't actually work like that. You can't get away with this, you know. And back then, I don't know if we were less educated or something, but it's like, okay, cool, I buy that.
Yeah, if it was made today, there'd be an extended scene where Cameron Mitchell hooks up the enema and the different bags. He's like, here's how you'll go to the bathroom while you're covered in wax.
It'd be a human centipede
Yeah.
angle to it.
Yeah.
Although it does end up being all a dream in the
Yeah.
end, so it doesn't have to make sense.
No.
At least we think that's how it ends. I'm still not 100% certain.
Yeah, does he have the opportunity to fix things now that he's realized it was a dream? And he's not even the one in the wrong, really.
No, he was a victim.
Yeah.
You know?
He's like, maybe I should stop smoking. Nah.
And Bill, as you asked, what was he drinking that was that flammable?
Something Sam tried to put in a drink, I'm sure.
The first drink.
No,
I believe
they
that.
didn't put the milk in, and that's how they put out.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It was Everclear. He's like, I only drink Everclear at parties. It's 140 proof. It was a moonshine party with Cameron Mitchell.
Oh, Jeffrey said they were pooping out candles. That's a good
That's
idea.
good.
That's
Yeah.
how
Or wax melts.
That's
a
how-
little wax.
Yeah.
Yeah, those little tiny wax things that you put in your thing, Bill. That's what he was.
Yep.
there,
And then they sell it. They sell it.
Yeah.
They have a shop out
At the
there.
gift
They're like,
shop.
come buy our candles.
Yeah. He's like, you know, my ex-girlfriend whose head I cut off and put in a box made this candle. Oh, how'd she make it? She pooped it out. Oh, wow, that's
Very
crazy.
talented.
Yeah. Do you want the room spray? You may. It's pee.
I didn't want to go there, but it ended up going there.
Yeah,
I'm okay.
We're going third segment early tonight,
Yeah.
folks.
That's the dark secret of Nightmare in Wax. The real Nightmare in Wax is the poop. I'm trying to get that'll be the Bill will definitely use that next week for when he makes one of those videos with the screen moving around the stories. It'll be like that'll be it. Come and watch the show for intelligent movie discussion from film experts about feces and pee. Cameron
right.
Mitchell,
Driving Asylum double feature, sponsored by Depends.
yeah. I'm trying to get whatever sponsors we can get.
Well,
Puppy
DeKuipers
bag.
hasn't reached
Puppy,
out
yeah.
to us yet.
Yeah. But I liked it. I think it's a fun movie. And I like, Becca was saying, we were talking during it, it's like, we like all wax movies.
I'm a wax movie person. I
Yeah.
don't know what it is.
Yeah. They're all
I
wax.
also love candles. I think it's like
That's what it is.
a psych thing.
Yeah. I think
I love all things.
all things wax. Wax.
Well, I mean, if there's a Spirit Halloween movie, there could definitely be a Yankee Candle movie.
oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, man. A White Barn movie. That's what I'm going to say. White Barn's is the secret one. That's the Bath and Body Works secret store.
Yankee Candle is canceling their votives. They're not going to make them anymore. That's the horror story
Oh,
that's
no.
happening right now.
Oh, no. Oh, boy.
No
I love
more
those
votives.
wax melts. I love those wax melts, but the thing that I don't like about it is ultimately you have to pour it out while the wax is hot and melted, and
Yeah.
that always can turn into a shit show.
I always
you
have
know.
paper towels ready. You have to scoop
Yeah.
out the little inside.
A whole bunch of newspapers,
Yeah.
you get those, pour it out. all
Our
over.
wax budget is higher than the Roman Catholic Church. So there's a lot of candles burning all the time. Sometimes in places that could kill me. So yeah, I lay my head down and there's a candle next to it.
Every time I hear
Yeah.
votive candles, I picture the ones with the little saints on them that my
Oh, yeah.
Hispanic grandmother used to stick in the bathtub.
Yeah, those are my favorite, the prayer candles.
Carrie's mom was really into that stuff too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
She
right.
had every candle in the
Margaret
house
White,
burning.
that's who I style my candles after.
It's like she didn't pay her light bill. And they
No.
turned off her lights, so she lit every candle.
Oh,
So Becca,
Yeah.
tell us about your recent adventure.
I took a little trip. And
Yes.
someone decided to get sick at the last minute, so I had to take my mother with me. But she had a great time. We went to Salt Lake City, Utah for a couple days, which was a pilgrimage for me because that's where Halloween 4, 5, and 6 were filmed. Um, I would say 70% of each movie was filmed in Utah, in Salt Lake City. So this first one we're looking at here is Halloween 4. That's the drugstore. Vincent Drug, that's where, Michael gets his mask and chases Jamie in Halloween 4. And really, I'm glad I went because this is all that's left of the building, is the front. If you actually look very close in the bigger picture of the front, you can see the outside because they are currently demolishing this building.
Oh,
So I really feel lucky because if I would have maybe went a week or two later, it probably wouldn't have been there.
Bummer.
yeah, that's sad.
But I did take a souvenir, which I'll show you in a few minutes. So then, as Mom and I were leaving Vincent
cool.
Drug, we drove around the corner and I said, "Hey, wait a minute." I said, "That looks familiar." So I got out my list of scenes, and this is where Bucky the electrician gets it in Halloween 4. This is literally maybe a block around the corner from the drugstore. And both of these were located in what's called Midvale, Utah. So, but that is still there, completely intact. I was standing across the street at a car wash when I took that picture.
What is it?
It's just a power station. It's some type of electrical. It has a house, a little brick like utility house. It's got to do something important.
I like the fact that they actually used a real power station instead of just like a set or
What's
built
funny
something.
is though when you're looking at these pictures and you look straight on, and even in the movie it's so dark behind there, you don't see any of those houses. It's
Right.
legitimately in the middle of a neighborhood.
That's very cool.
Yeah. But that one was just drove past it and from, thousands and thousands of times of watching that movie, I'm like, I know those storylines. And of course,
Oh,
the
wow.
Carruthers house.
Ooh, look at it.
I prefer the way it was painted in the movie.
I would agree.
I do. It's still very, very pretty, though. I don't think the people who own it currently do any tours, but I have seen tours of the inside before. Probably from around the 90s, mid 90s, somebody toured their house and did a video of it. But this is all the houses from 4 and even the house from 5. They're about 3 streets away from each other. And each street is 3rd Avenue, 4th Avenue, 5th Avenue. So people in Salt Lake told me that area is called the Avenues. So
Wow. So they were all within walking distance of each other.
very. And it reminded me a lot. If you are from Pittsburgh, the houses over there reminded me of Shady Side.
I was
and
going to
Squirrel
say.
Hill. Oh, and this was an
wow.
adventure. Let me tell you. So the guy who has the listing of the addresses where the filming locations are, he just had this listed as 12th Street. And this is actually up in Ogden, Utah, which is about 40 minutes north of Salt Lake. So my mom and I took a little road trip up there, and because that is also where you'll see later on, that's where the Tower Farm is located, and from Halloween 5. So again, we're talking years and years of landscape change and, things not looking exactly the way that they did in the movie. So we must have driven up and down this 12th Street for an hour and a half. Both directions, couldn't find it. Finally, I told my mom, I said, we need a break. So we stopped at Starbucks. We were standing in line for the bathroom, and my mom asked somebody, she goes, "Do you know what this train bridge is?" This girl, a 16-year-old girl, she says, "I pass it every day on my way to work." She had no idea about Halloween 4, but she told me exactly where it is. So I had to actually park the rental car on a very sloped road and climb down in there to get that picture.
This was dangerous.
It was very dangerous, but after finding it, I couldn't leave without getting, because you wouldn't have gotten this picture standing from the road. You had to go
Right.
down into that little cavern.
I'm
And
glad
there
you
was
made it
some, like,
out.
random cars parked there too. Who knew who else was down there? But I knew that I was going alone because it was not terrain that my mom could have walked through. So, but I did it, and we have the picture. And then these are again right in the area called the Avenues, and these are some of the trick or treat houses that Jamie and Rachel go to. And these two houses are literally right next door to each other.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so the paint jobs are a little different, but
It's
yeah,
a pretty neighborhood.
it's a beautiful neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's right by the Capitol. The state capitol is like a couple blocks away. And so here we are at
Oh, awesome.
Sheriff Meeker's house, which is absolutely gorgeous. It pretty much looks the same. There's a little bit of a paint difference, and there's a gate around it now, obviously to stop weirdos like me from coming any closer. But it is actually a beautiful, beautiful, huge house.
What always strikes me about the Halloween, the 3 ones shot in Utah, is the houses are huge
Yeah.
and gorgeous. Like, it's not like the neighborhood from 1.
Right.
It's like a totally different look and feel.
And it actually, in Utah, in watching the movies, even in watching Halloween 6, you guys will see in a bit, you can, in Halloween 1, you can see a palm tree way in the back. You can see the mountains in Halloween 6, which is, Salt Lake is a valley, and it's completely surrounded by mountains. So you do see them, and I didn't notice it until I watched it and was there in the flesh to notice the mountains. And then,
The
of
mountains
course,
of Illinois.
yeah, and of course, who can forget Ted Hollister's death scene? So that's that's a memorial park for military. It's actually a very, very tiny park, and it is about, I would say, half a block from those two houses that were used in trick or treating. They're all at the entrance to this military park is right at the end of the street.
Wow.
So literally, we parked and knocked 3 of those out, for the pictures.
Was that supposed to be somebody's house in the movie? That first picture that we see in the upper left?
Which one?
In the upper left, is that a home in the
Yeah,
film?
that's Sheriff Meeker's house.
It looks like the Taj Mahal.
Yeah.
It's a big house.
Yeah, it does look like a town hall or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And so then these pictures are from when the power gets cut after he kills Bucky at the electrical station, and it flashes on the houses. These are literally 2 houses down from Sheriff Meeker's house. So again, very easy walking distance. And Sam's the one who brought it up to me. These people wouldn't want to move all their filming equipment, so it makes complete sense
Right.
that they would block off, 3 or 4 houses in a row. So, but yeah, those are from when the power goes out and they're kind of flashing through the town.
Wow. The landscaping is just amazing.
And again, you have to remember how many years have passed since these movies were filmed. So you have new people living in these houses, new landscaping, new, so
Sure.
but I'm just so glad that, I could recognize these places because they're, in a nerdy way, very important to me.
Oh,
Well, like
sure,
the
there's
first
others that
film.
feel the same.
Yeah.
Like the first film that you mentioned where it was filmed in Pasadena, the houses really were not humble in
No.
Halloween. You read them as everyday suburbia when really they were a little bit nicer than everyday suburbia. This is the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was always struck, especially by the house in 6, of how, well, you'll see it in a bit, of how huge it is.
Yeah.
So this is Halloween 5. This is also in the area of the Avenues. It's gorgeous. It's huge. I went to the movie event on a Sunday. The Friday he was actually showing the movie here Friday night. I wasn't able to go to that one too, but I visited during the day. So he had an event at this house on the Friday night. But this is where Dr. Loomis and Michael have their showdown, and it's a massive house.
Wow, yeah, it's
These
beautiful.
people did redo it too. Like it's been upkept because I've seen a few pictures of it before the ones I took, and it was in pretty bad shape for a while. So some people who have come in have started renovating and fixing it up, and it was. I've seen it a few different times, and it was pretty bad shape. So it was really nice to see it look like this.
Now, refresh my memory. Was this supposed to be the Myers house in part 5?
Yes,
Man, that place grew after all those years.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
know.
Yeah, that's
And
what
the
I always think
fucking-
when I see 5. It's like almost a cathedral by comparison to.
Well,
There's a
Right, 'cause-
turret.
Yeah.
Yeah,
First of all, that paint scheme on the new version is hideous.
I know. I didn't agree with that, unfortunately. Pick a color.
Yeah, it looks like the top of one house landed on the bottom of another one.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you go back and you look up pictures of this house, there's one where the bottom was white, the middle part was pink, and the top, I think, was like sea green.
Oh,
So
gosh.
some different people have lived there over time. And then, of course, so right, like I said, close to where the bridge from the ambulance scene in 4 is the Tower Farm. This is about 10 minutes away, and it's up in Ogden, Utah. So, and the barn would have been behind the farmhouse, but that's no longer there. And then next to the Tower Farmhouse, the house that sits there now is about a $3 million house.
Whoa.
The Tower Farmhouse is the only tiny house on this street. I'm surprised it's still there with what else is in that neighborhood.
Hmm.
But it was just really cool. And here we go to the Halloween 6 house. So this is also in Salt Lake. And we went on Sunday night to an event, and we were able to watch the movie in the backyard. The house, so from going to the event, I learned that none of the interiors were used in this house, only exteriors. The only interior that was used from this house was the laundry room for the kill scene for the Strode dad. And then the room, when you look at this house, if you're looking at the front, the top right hand, the most upper windows, that's actually the room they used for Tommy Doyle's apartment, the interior.
Okay.
But they used the exterior of the house across the street. So we actually got to go up into that room. So we were in Tommy Doyle, Paul Rudd's apartment. So, and it's pretty much laid out exactly the same way it was in the movie. You know, the paint has changed and everything. But, you know, touring it and then watching the movie right after, you can still see the brick area that's in there. And there's the fridge when he gets the bottle out for the baby, that fridge is still in the same spot. But yeah, so the laundry room and the upper bedroom were the only 2 interior rooms actually still used used in the movie.
I'm such a sucker for a second story porch.
Well, I mean, if you look at the
Yeah.
first picture from the movie, the landscaping again, the woman who lives there now, she's a very, very sweet lady. She has the most beautiful garden in the backyard, which wasn't there because it was obviously the kill scene for Deborah Strode. And like she's redone the whole front yard. So it does look a little bit different, but we got to walk around, you know, into the backyard where we actually watched the movie. So right across the street from that, kind of on an angle, is the Blankenship house. So that's the window. That's the front of the house. And then the next picture down is that side window where you do see Tommy Doyle standing, looking at them from outside the window. It was funny because, like I said, this is right across the street. And when we were out there, there's a group of like 30 of us standing outside looking at this house. And the owner of the Blankenship house, I don't think he knew there was a tour coming that day. He had his sprinklers going on high. He saw all of us standing there and he came out and he turned off his sprinklers so they wouldn't hit us.
Oh, that's
But-
nice.
Tell him Evil dies tonight.
Yeah, I didn't tell him that.
Evil dries tonight.
Evil dries tonight. But like the window, it's kind of hard to see with the trees, but it's still there and it's still got like that scalloped edge on the roof. And so that was really cool. And then this is the laundry room of the Myers
wow.
house. The washer and dryer, like where she has them in the second picture, they would have been more against that concrete wall there. But they're basically in the same vicinity. And then it was interesting because I couldn't find an exact picture from the movie, but those bars or the pipes you see above their heads when he's killing him, when you watch the movie, there's a bunch of like little notches, and there's one that actually looks like the letter Y and the letter A, and like you can just pick them out now that you've seen it. When we were standing in there, those same pipes are in there, and you can see the same marks that are in it from the movie, and it just makes it that much more real.
Yeah, I like that they didn't change any of that.
Yeah. This house has actually been, since she bought it, it's a mother and daughter that live there, and they have actually split it into two houses. So it does have two front doors, and it is basically technically, I guess, a duplex at this point. So some of the interiors, like I said, have changed a little bit. And we had a really good time. Me and my mom actually were the first people there to arrive, other than the people setting up the event. So we got to meet the owner and talk to her for a while. And Bill, you will be happy to know that she has two dogs. She has four, but two of them look exactly like Vivi. They are white versions of Vivi named Polly and Lucky. So we actually went in her living room, and because I had told her, I said, "Oh my God, your dog's so cute." I said, "I miss my dog so much, being away from him for a couple days." She goes, "Do you want to come inside and meet the other dogs?" I'm like, "Yes." So me and my mom went in for a while and sat with them and their dogs. So, but I said, Bill's going to be excited. They look just like Vivi, but pure white. And then this is the group that we went with. I don't know if you've ever seen him on Instagram, but his name's Kenny, and he owns the Myers House replica in North Carolina, and he does these on-set cinemas. And Sam and I have gone. We went to the one a couple years ago in Portland, Oregon, to see the Shining event at the Timberline Lodge, which was, of course, the exterior for The Shining. So he throws these really great events, and what's nice for him is, he does these all year long, and he does some of them at the same houses. And so he builds a really good relationship with the people who own these properties now. So I think that, because he respects their homes and everything so much, he gives them more than any fan off the street would. So he really gives us a chance to explore these places.
He does the Prowler.
He does. I mean, he does every movie you can think of. Like I said, if you haven't ever seen him on Instagram, you need to add his Instagram, because hopefully, you can make it to one of his events, or hopefully he has an event in your town.
He built a drive-in in his yard.
And he built a drive-in in his own yard, so he has his own theater in North Carolina, and he shows movies outdoors at his house all the time. And I asked him, I said, we're from Pittsburgh. I said, how come you've never come here and done an event at like the Buffalo Bill House? And he said he's tried multiple times, but he can't get a hold of that guy. I said, I've met him in person. He's a little off.
And this is what Becca got. This is my favorite thing that she got.
This is my souvenir. This is a brick from the Vincent Drug demolition site.
Very cool.
I drove around the back, and of course, like, there's this huge chain link fence, like, so people don't go in and steal bricks or whatever. And I found a hole wide enough where I could slide my arm in, and this is what I came out with. So I do have this. And
there's a Michael Myers figure usually sitting on it.
Yeah. So it's going in the collection. So I have my own bit of Haddonfield. So, but I had a blast. And Salt Lake City is a beautiful town.
That's really awesome.
Yeah.
I do have one question though. I know you said that you took your mom with you. Is she a fan of the movies at all, or is she just placating your obsession?
She's placating our obsession. She always has. She's been a really great mom for me and my brother, because we were always into the weirdest things. She would buy us, growing up, any Halloween costume we wanted. Like, it didn't matter how weird it was or whatever. She just always supported us. And she's not a huge fan of scary movies. She loves sci-fi and action movies. Those are her thing. She sat and watched 6, though, in the backyard of the house, and she looks at me at the end, and she's like, "That wasn't that bad." And I'm like, so, but
So she had not seen it before?
no,
Oh, okay.
no, but I gave her one of Sam's shirts to wear to the event. She's all about it. Like, she just
Very
wants
cool.
to have a good time with us.
No, that's
She's
awesome.
been very great about it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. If I saw that Paul said where the Carnival Soul set's pretty close. If I'd been there, we would have gone to Carnival Souls and all the Night Train to Terror and Savage Journeys. So I would have done the tour of the movies that I like. But I'm glad.
but I had my mom, so we also went to like the aquarium. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, we did some shopping, some different restaurants, but yeah, but
They went to a Detroit pizza place in Salt Lake City. That's
can't take the Detroit out of us.
Yeah.
Stealing the brick doesn't count as shopping, does it?
No. I brought home a pumpkin plate from Home Goods. I mean, that's how dedicated I am. However, security did stop my bag because I had this wrapped up in a Walmart bag because it's dirty. I think they probably thought it was like cocaine or something.
Oh, yeah.
Thing.
She's smuggling heroin.
You see that redhead?
like-
She had a brick.
My mom goes, "No, she just has a brick in her suitcase," and I'm like, "Oh my god."
She has a brick in her suitcase. That's what her mom sounds
It's not embarrassing at all.
She has a brick, and it's okay. It's from a movie set. That's pretty what she said. She's been telling everybody about the trip. She had fun.
Yeah.
Oh, the Cherokee.
Yeah, see, the movies are switched in this ad, so I saved it for the second segment when Blood of Dracula's Castle is our feature.
It works if you flip it either way because of how they built the ad.
Sure, yeah.
I love it.
Horror beyond belief. That's for
Also all
sure.
new and all color, which I thought they were in black and white this week. But yeah, all color.
You were mistaken, Sam Panico.
I was
All color.
so wrong.
All shock. All new.
I knew they were all shock. I knew, well, they weren't all new anymore, but I thought they were all black and white.
We hope you're not too shocked after Nightmare in Wax for
No,
Blood
I
of
hope
Dracula.
everybody-
Save some shock for the second feature.
Yeah.
I
Thanks
should have
Becca,
warned
for
you.
coming on. My wife did great. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Excellent job.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I loved the way they were laid out too. They were perfect. It was a perfect slideshow.
We did that right
Thank
before
you.
the show started. I was going to go for a walk.
I
And
said to him, "Did you make those picture things?" Oh, I forgot.
yeah, so that
It
was,
a little bit of a rush job.
yeah.
It didn't look it. It was just what we needed. So I have a little bit more of these things to share
Oh, wow.
too. I saved these for the second segment too.
I love the type's really simple in this, but this is a great ad.
Night in Wax.
I've never seen Gorath. What's Gorath?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Gorath. I'm not sure. It's a giant monster movie, but I'm not really 100% sure. Or the Human Vapor.
Is he man or Astroman or fart? The human vapor.
Not to be
Big
confused
color.
with the human tornado.
I like that it's like, hey, this one starts at 9:15, this one starts at 10:40, this one starts late, and this one starts late.
Human Vapor and Gorath, I think they're both Japanese films. if I'm not mistaken.
Chris said it's a Toho Killer Planet movie. Okay, cool.
Ah, that's right.
I
Now
love
I can
just
see
the
the ad.
whole look of that ad too. It's so well balanced. Oh,
Here's another mistake in print. Shuttered proof. I think they meant the shuttered room.
yeah,
I was wondering if that's what that was.
yeah.
It's gotta be.
Wow.
At least I didn't print Nightmare in Wax or Night in Wax in this
Hey,
one.
do you want to have a night in wax? Yeah.
Nights in White.
I'm not that hairy.
Whoa, that type is amazing, Bill. That super horrorama type.
Mm-hmm. Look at the third movie.
Where we're from dormitory
Yeah.
Oh,
or dorm here.
There was a ghoul in school.
oh man, that is a great triple feature right there. The horror it's all shock though.
Yeah.
And the first shocking showing.
This is gonna shock the shit out of you.
Yeah. I hope you have your wax back ass. This movie's gonna shock the shit out of you.
Wax candles.
Yeah.
Bring them with
your
you.
wax candles.
Mm-hmm. Sell them in the snack bar at intermission.
Yeah. Oh. Oh.
Here's another werewolf.
Oh, there you go.
That's a triple feature. I vote for that for the drive-in. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Where's Gene? Get Gene back on. Let's tell him. We want Werewolf in a Girl's Dormitory.
That's another one I really enjoy too.
Yeah.
Did you get the beautiful Blu-ray?
No. I failed at life.
I'm sure you could still get it.
That Werewolf in a Girl's Dormitory just seems like it should have totally been remade as a Skinemax movie. It's got all the elements except nudity.
You can say that again. It does have some sexy stuff in it, though.
No, very much so. It's because there's the whole implication that one of the teachers is sleeping with at least one of the girls.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Vampire and the Ballerinas like that too, where it's like this is as sexy as 1963 can get. But don't worry, Renato Paulselli has some other sexy stuff for you in about 10 years. Just hold on. Oh, Bill, this ad is beautiful.
What's a smoking lobe?
It was a lodge, and then they lost some money, and now it's just a lodge. I like that the cinema has like, hey, you can smoke in this room and watch the movie. Like some theaters, like, shouldn't we keep that for babies and like, expectant mothers? No, smokers.
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 Well, especially with Nightmare of Wax.
Yeah.
Could you? You probably could smoke right in the auditorium.
Yeah. If you smoke, you should light up every time Cameron Mitchell does.
Oh.
Imagine.
If you didn't have lung cancer before, you would when you left.
Yeah.
Come to the movie, get free emphysema.
So weird.
This is paced up from another.
I was going to say, it really doesn't feel like the same movies.
Yeah, I'm looking at my ad right now. I'm like, that's not on here.
If only Dracula's Castle looked like that in this movie.
It looks like Cinderella's castle from the Magic Kingdom.
It sure does.
Yeah.
Or that house that Becca had a picture of that was Maya's house.
Oh, wow.
The image for Nightmare of Wax was that. It almost looks like it was from, I can't remember which one, but a Barbara Steele movie.
Nightmare Castle?
Possibly?
Yeah.
It could be.
They're just like, they're all the same nightmares. Just fucking throw it in.
I don't really recognize it.
Also, Bill, I know it's real super simple, but I love the type for the village. It's just nice.
I have so many ads. I have a bunch of Messiah of Evil ads from the village.
Oh, my God.
They were a great theater. It's from North Carolina.
Yeah, it's a great look.
Located next door to the Village Inn.
Yeah.
The Freedom Village Shopping Center.
All right, Chris is saying that
is the Nightmare Castle.
Okay,
ad.
Thank you, Chris. I thought it looked familiar because I want to say that's the same image that might be the Severance set that came out a couple years ago of the three Barbara Steele movies.
That's where I know it from. Yeah. Oh.
So now we're back to the beginning.
Here we go. If anybody's interested, I got one more for you. That's the image in color.
Oh yeah. Here, wait. Let's get going. There we go.
And of course, this is one of those things I had to buy the second I saw it.
Yeah.
What is it? Is it a press book?
Yeah. If I don't really, should have opened it, but I didn't think about it. But I do like the green color on it. It looks nice up on the wall.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Awesome. It's very waxy, very nightmarish.
That might just be the blue reflecting off.
Well, I guess we should do the second drink segment. Wow.
Oh gosh, yeah.
This segment has run really long. So,
but then again, like you said, we came back at it early, so
that's true.
And our second movie is shorter than the first one too. So
we normally would not have been this far along in the night, so it's okay. And I don't even know the second drink segment queued up.
Well, let's vamp. I'm excited. The second drink came out really good. The second drink is very sophisticated. I don't know why for this movie. It doesn't feel like it matches it. But I didn't want to do like a Bloody Mary felt too easy. You know what I mean, or something with tomato juice. So I want to do something that was a little nice.
I'm glad you didn't do a Bloody Mary because I am actually making this drink too, and I
Awesome.
can't stand vegetable juice.
Yeah.
I never drink vegetable juice. All right, so here we go. Oh wait, I need to fix this. Okay, so take it away, Robot Sam's inspired cocktail for Blood of Dracula's Castle.
This is the Blood of Dracula's cocktail for the Blood of Dracula's Castle.
Thank you for explaining that.
It's needed explained. It needed to be said. This is a daddy drink. This is a drink daddy goes to sleep after he drinks. We got 2 ounces of vodka. Nikolai's still fighting a war. Nikolai lashes. It's like the cheapest vodka, but it'll last you. The Kuiper, Pennsylvania brand. They should sponsor.
Where do they make it?
I don't know. Probably down the street. An ounce of pineapple. We're going to do 4 ounces of cranberry juice, ocean spray. Not made down the street. That's made in a cranberry bog that I've seen in the commercials.
Where they walk around and all the little cranberries are floating.
Yeah, and we're going to do a quarter.
I've never seen a cranberry bog.
You never seen the cranberry bog before?
No.
Anyway.
Maybe there's one around Dracula's castle.
Yeah, that's where Dracula gets his powers from. You can't bury him unless you bury him in. You can either bury him in his own soil
or the cranberry bog.
Cranberry bog, and he comes out and he's like, and they're just
that's what makes the
flowers.
cranberries red.
It is. It's blood. The blood of his victims.
I'm glad we figured this out.
Yeah, the blood of his victims. And you want to shake that up, make it nice and cold.
They're trying to get out.
Yeah, it's his victims screaming. We've been in the cranberry bog for hundreds of years.
That's pretty.
Look at that. That's the Blood of Dracula's Castle. A lot of people think it's going to be red. Not this Dracula.
But it's pink.
No, it's pink. Dracula is like, he's like, you know what? I've killed a lot of people. I'm totally secure with my manhood. My
Have a pink drink.
My drink's pink. Deal with it. Anyway, Dracula, here's to the blood in your castle. Here's to the cocktail that we've made from your castle. Pazuzu, let's take a sip. Oh, man, that is sophisticated.
That's good.
Dracula's sitting around in a smoking jacket, being like, uh-huh. Oh.
And there's no milk in it.
Oh, well, that's how crypto works? Interesting. That's what Dracula says. He's having financial discussions while he's drinking his pink drink. Anyway, Pazuzu, here's the movie.
Pazuzu.
Enjoy.
This is delicious too, although I have to admit, I think I missed the pineapple. The call for pineapple.
Pineapple next week. I hear it. Tease for next week's movies, Bill. How are we going to tease it? Let's see.
Well, next weekend we're doing one of the movies that we're doing is one of my favorite movies of all time. In fact, Sam, when you suggested it, I couldn't believe that we hadn't done it yet.
Yeah.
But indeed, we have not. Next weekend, we are going to do one of Bill's all-time faves. And I think it's one of yours, too.
Yep. And the other movie, I can't say the tagline because everybody will know it. But it is not. It is not. Is it too soon to talk about 1972? I'm the first person to say it this week. Anyway, it's always the contest. Yeah, it's got a great tagline, and it has an actor playing a role that he normally doesn't play. He is very much the opposite of who he normally is. So there's your clues for next week.
Very much so.
Super second, Bill, can we, I'm going to say on the 30th, can we say who's hosting?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Austin Trunick's coming back on the 30th. It's going to be a late night show. And one movie we haven't decided yet. So, I'm going to say 100% chance it's going to be a canon movie because Austin saw it. I think I know which one it is, but I just haven't got confirmation from him yet. So he's been asked. We've been talking about coming back on. He just did the canon weekend thing out at the drive-in. So we'll have a lot of good stories about that. So it'll be exciting.
Also, that's going to be the 30th, September 16th.
Yep.
We've got special guests lined up. Coma White and Justin Lockwood from Horror Trivia in New York City. Coma White is an amazing drag queen. I'm hoping we picked 2 amazing horror diva. There's one horror diva. She's in both of the movies that we're doing, and I'm really hoping that Coma White brings us some of that of this woman, some of her essence, because I love her so much, and I'm really excited that Coma White and Justin Lockwood will be here with us on the 16th. Don't miss it. And I almost gave the movies away, and I swore I wouldn't do that.
The 23rd is will be obviously at the drive-in. We talked about in the first segment with Gene. And if you come to the drive-in, I will have 2 drinks per night based on each of the movies. So they won't have milk in them because they're they're gonna stay in the cooler. But I'm gonna say 100%. One will have pineapple in it, and they'll probably have Midori in it too.
So real quick, will there actually be horror trivia on the show?
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I don't know what they have in store for us. So
I'm excited for everything coming up in September. Yeah, they should try to stump Bill. That'll be good.
Stump me? What about you?
They'll be like, is this movie in black and white and color? I'm like, I don't know.
It's in blood and wax.
Yeah, it's like. It depends. Like I have my categories, like like maybe like Bruno Mattei stuff. Like I'm good on that, but when it comes to like normal stuff, I'm like, I don't know.
So no Scream trivia for you.
Yeah, I could probably do a little bit, but not a lot of Scream trivia, but enough to be dangerous, but not.
Also, real quick, I just want to answer Paul's question from earlier. The shirt was actually a Kickstarter perk for the Small Town Monsters documentary on the Flatwood Monster. So I just wanted to answer that.
I just got their new Bigfoot movie that came out this week. I haven't watched it yet.
I got a link to it. I've not watched it either. So
yeah, they do really great stuff. I really like their Momo movie. Was really, really good.
I've liked a lot of their stuff so far, but then again, I'm probably biased. All the cryptid type stuff has always fascinated me. So
I like that they do a nice combination of talking to people about it, and then their recreations look really great. Sometimes they use animation or illustration too, but their stuff feels a lot like Boggy Creek, kind of the way that they bring locals in and stuff. That's what I really like about their stuff.
Well, one of the things I like too is that they don't come with an approach of, okay, this, we're dead set that this doesn't exist, or we're dead set that it does exist. It's like, we just want to present the story as it was told by the people who experienced it, and you make up your own damn mind.
Yeah, their Pacific Northwest Bigfoot one was really good because it didn't, you were kind of left to make up your own mind, like you said, about the work, but there was a lot about the scientific test and how rigorous they try to be. And, even the scientists hadn't made their mind up yet.
Yeah.
What they had found. So I really like their stuff a lot. Cool. What Dracula's Castle? I'm excited. Is this the first John Carradine movie we've shown, Bill?
No, we showed the Boogeyman.
Oh, that's right.
And we showed the Nesting.
Have you not done the Howling?
No. We have not done
no,
the
I'm
Howling.
surprised that this is the first Al Adamson movie.
I was going to say, super surprised about Al.
Stunned by that.
Yeah. I saw that Mark was excited about it because I know he loves Al Adamson, so that'll be good.
I've been wanting to do Nurse Sherry, but I think the first time I thought about doing it, I looked and I couldn't find it streaming.
I could have sworn you did that too.
Yeah.
We didn't do Nurse Sherry, did we?
No, we haven't done it yet.
No.
I haven't seen that movie, actually, believe it or not.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Neither has anyone else, because every time
I wanted to do
out,
Carnival Magic. Movie. That's my favorite Al Adamson movie I've seen. That movie's insane.
What I like about Adamson is that even when his movies are awful, they're still interesting.
Yeah. Dustin, I wanted to ask you, I watched a documentary about Pirates World outside of Orlando. Do you know about Pirates World?
I've heard of it, but I don't know really.
Oh my God. This doc was great about how when it opened, the city had given them so much money, and for like the first 3 or 4 years, everything was great. And then once they started doing rock concerts, everything got bad.
You said that's on what? YouTube?
Yeah, I'll find it and send it to you. It's really
I like stuff like that too, because I know. Oh gosh, sorry, my earbud fell out. And someone can correct me if it's closed or not, but I know that was it the dinosaur world or the dinosaur land was in the area too. And for the longest time, I mean, if it closed, it was recently. I know that was still open for the longest time. And every time I drove by, you never saw anyone there. So it's like, how did you stay in business for this long? Were you like laundering money for somebody? So things like that. I've always had the question of, how
They
did you
actually
stay
were
open?
super successful. The problem was just the nuisance of concerts and drugs and stuff in the parking lot. Because like Sabbath played there, Zeppelin played there, like major shows played there.
Okay.
And they also, that's where Santa Claus Meets the Ice Cream Bunny was shot. One of my favorite upsetting Christmas movies was shot there. And a couple William Griffith movies were shot there too, like the Love Generation one was shot there. But there's a lot in there about. They actually had a TV station, WKID, that was a kids-based TV station that was filmed on the grounds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they, at one point, just literally stopped completely paying their bills for like 2 years. I don't know how they stayed in business.
Please send that to me, because I love some of the weird history of things that used to exist in the state. And I'm sure everybody has the same with their own state. So
they actually have a concert movie beyond Santa Claus and the Ice Cream Bunny that was filmed there. There's a concert movie filmed there too, where a pirate comes back to life and comes to the park to see Iron Butterfly play. It's fucking great. Iron Butterfly does like a 95-minute long version of Inagata Devita that's cut through the movie, as you can imagine. It's probably the only song they did. It was like a 1-song set.
Right. They just stretched it out through the whole concert.
I wish that was the only song they ever recorded, and that every time they performed, that's the only thing they did for like 90 minutes.
Well, I remember when the album came out, it was like 2 sides of the album. One of their albums was Inagata Devita. The Slayer version's like 3 minutes long. The one that's in less than 0. It's so fast. But yeah, Pirates World is one of my obsessions. So finding this video was like, wow, I can't believe someone spent all this time talking about it. So I'm excited. I haven't seen the second movie, so I'm super jazzed.
What?
Yeah.
You've seen it, right, Dustin?
Yeah, I've actually seen it a few times. I mean, if we're going to be honest, I don't love the movie, but again, it goes back to what I said about how Adam's movies said, even when they're not great, I still find fascinating things in them. And I'm kind of a sucker for John Carradine. I'll watch pretty much anything he's in.
Oh, yeah.
He looks ultra decrepit in this film, even though it was 1969. So, you know.
He lived for like another 13 years or 14 years after this. Yeah.
Well, I mean, this, I want to say, came out around the same time as was in Astro Zombies, I believe. And he looks like he's about to die in that movie.
Yeah, and he just kept going.
Yeah.
I like that one movie. I can't remember the one is where he's in the video store. And it's all clips of other movies, but he's like working in a video store that came out in the early 80s. Oh, I can't remember what it is. But it's like they keep cutting to different trailers of other movies. And it's like, it came out like 3 years after he died. Yeah, your wife brought up how mangled his hands got.
I'm just looking at it, shaking my head
like,
yeah, well,
it's the John Carradine movie. And you're like,
but you know, and he's another one that too, like Cameron Mitchell, who again, he's just a working actor. You know, he has family to support, he had bills to pay. So, you know, I respect that. He's not really much different from the common man. You know, he's just
Cameron
out there
Mitchell's
doing a job.
the same way. Yeah, they're just like, this is my job. I'm going from set to set to set. You know, and
I think Carradine used his film career to avoid his family.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, well, I have to pay for these kids. And like, we don't even see you, Dad. And he's like, well, I'm still paying for you. Goodbye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His mangled hands got cut off in Silent Night, Bloody Night, remember?
Yeah. I like actors like them. George Kennedy's another one.
Yes.
Where he's like, he just shows up and he does his thing. And it's like, keep going. And it's like, so many people, I only knew him when I was a kid from, from obviously Naked Gun.
Yeah.
Like, he was in so much stuff. I just watched him in Virus, the 1980 Japanese movie. When you have COVID, don't watch Virus. A movie about a super flu destroying the world. Yeah, it's not.
Oh gosh, it's that one of the Mill Creek sets as well too. Is it like
sure. It's on
is it Ford in there?
Yeah, Drive-In Classic.
That's that Japanese movie that was like 2.5 hours long, and they cut it down to 90 minutes.
The director's cut is 2:55.
Damn,
and it's real good. The Japanese disaster movies are way different than American ones because in American ones the disaster ends and everybody, yeah, the city's destroyed and a lot of people died, but there's got to be a morning after, and everybody goes off and everything's fine. Japanese ones are like there's 40 people left and they all live in Antarctica, and it's horrible for them. And one guy has to walk across the country to find his girlfriend. It's great.
And real quick, I just want to second Steve. If you have not shown House of Seven Corpses, I personally would love to see that on here. That's another one.
Not shown that either.
Yeah, we haven't done House of Seven Corpses yet. There's still so many more fantastic films to do.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if I posted the link to Blood of Dracula's Castle.
Oh,
In
man.
fact, now I realize I did not.
Well,
where are we watching this?
I thought it was also on was it Archive?
It's got to be on YouTube.
I'm not sure.
I have it up.
Yeah, it is. It's on YouTube.
And if it's anything like the print on the Gorehouse Great set, there's going to be lots of green lines and scratches in the beginning. So it does clear up a little bit. Give us some patience.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty good, actually, the version on YouTube. So
good.
Go to youtube.com and in your little search box, type Blood of Dracula's Castle. It'll be the first thing that comes up. I guarantee it. And we'll give you a little extra time since we didn't have the link set up for you and waiting this time. So we'll wait a couple more minutes for it to come back to the third segment. We hope you'll be here. I will be. And I'll be in Texas. You'll be here too, right?
I believe so. I took my nap earlier.
You took a disco nap?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So we'll see you then. Till then, enjoy.